Hey everybody, I got some new parts for the Valiant. I got everything packed here in the garage today. Sorry it's so smoky. I just had to clean my kerosene heater here because I've been running red fuel in it instead of kerosene, red diesel. Didn't get this running. I'm pretty fed up with it. I've got another intake setup with a carb that is in worse shape than this one. This still doesn't idle. It's still varying between flooded and not flooded. I'm about over messing with it. So I'll show you some of the new parts that I got for this car. I actually made out pretty cheap on this. I've only got a couple $100 into both these. Let me get to a spot. Here's the other intake carb setup. It's off of a newer model Slant 6, which I'm not going to be able to use anyways, but this is a Ford Explorer 88. It's the 95 through 01 year variant, and it's got a 373 gear ratio in it. It's only got like 20,000 miles on it from the yard that I bought it from. And what they do a lot with these is they'll do a shortening, and they take two passenger side axles, which is this side, this side, my boot's on. The diff is offset on these. I'm right in the light. The diff is offset on these, and it's 3 inches longer on the driver's side, if I remember correctly. So you'll get two short side axle shafts, and then cut out, I think it's 2 7/8 inches out of the tube, weld it back together, slam two passenger side axles into it, and then you have a shortened 88. It's got good 31 spline axles in it. Another good thing is these are 5 on 4.5, which these cars originally came with boy, I can't remember what lug pattern they call it. They basically call everything a big bolt, Mopar pattern, or small bolt. The A body is the only thing with a small bolt. So these have really goofy rims, rim bolt pattern on them. I want to say it's 5 on 4 inch. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's some goofball pattern that no one uses. So when I swap to this axle, it'll go to 5 on 4.5, which is the same as the big bolt pattern on Mopar, Chrysler, Dodge. And on the big bolt or on these, there's drums the whole way around. When you convert to disc, they are basically upgrading you to a later model Mopar suspension. So they'll take like a B body Mopar and give you the brakes off of that, which are also 5 on 4.5. So the whole car will be 5 on 4.5 instead of having that rear end wouldn't survive behind any kind of power anyways. It's just 7 1/4. Plus it's got, like I said, drums the whole way around. So I was planning on doing the front disc swap anyways, and I knew that the rear end wasn't going to hold. So like I said, I'm about tired of messing with this Slant 6, so I've been looking around. I did have a couple promising leads, and we've got a parts truck at the shop that's either a 09 or a 2010, I think. It's the new body style. It's got what sounds like a DOD lifter failure. I was going to buy that for core price, but I came across this, which is a 2006 5.3. If you can see it, I'll I'll pick the video up here after I get it out and on the stand. Alright, so I got it out. This is what it looks like. It's a little grubby. It's missing a few parts. Like I said, the axle over there, I paid $100 for it. I paid $100 for this. It's missing so many parts because the guy that had it, I knew him, and he had bought an engine from a wrecking yard, and put that engine in his truck. This one had a lifter tick. He didn't want to fix it. It's got a pile of miles on it, but it's clean on the inside. It's an 06. And the reason why it's so bare is because the engine he originally bought was one of those hybrid things with it had the windings on the back here, and they didn't have an alternator, and the wiring was different, so he had to steal most of the parts off of his other motor, off of this motor when he took it out. It's like I said, it's a 2006. Some of the giveaways on that, if you can see there, you see how it's got 13mm heads on the exhaust manifold here. Also, it's got the 2 steam vents up front, none in the rear, just block offs. So I'm hoping this has Gen 4 rods in it. Being a 2006, as he says, if it is the original engine, it should by all means have LS3 type rods in it. But I'll open it up and show you guys how clean it is. This thing has a pile of miles on it. I can't remember how much he said it. Well over 200. 260. Like I said, I was thinking about buying the shop truck. So I didn't really need an engine, but $100, it's really hard to pass up. This thing's clean on the inside. My daily driver here in the background is way worse when I did the valve cover gaskets. He runs synthetic in it. I've got the intake. I don't have an exhaust manifold. I don't have the flywheel or the flex plate, and I don't have any of the accessories, but I do have extras. And we do have a junkyard in our we have a couple junkyards in our town that will let you buy car parts. And usually if you go there, you can find something with a blown up 5.3, 4.8, 6-liter, and you can rob the accessories off of it for cheap. The bad thing is if you do, like I was saying, I need another axle for that, or another shaft for that. They won't let you cut anything. Like if you can't take it off of bolts, and this is Michigan too, so nothing really comes off without a heat wrench. So yeah, big update for the car. I'm tired of working on that piece of shit straight six. Next video I'll probably tear this thing down, see how the bottom end is on it, and if I do find a bad lifter, then I'll probably order a new set of lifters and go to probably file the rings on it and throw it back together and put it in the car. The plan for this car over here, now that I've got it running, I'm gonna put the engine up for sale, see what I can get out of it. Like I said, I'm overworking on this carb and everything else. But before I pull it, I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to buy it. It runs fine. It's just the carb's all messed up. And you know, I just put a $40 starter. I don't have that much money into getting the engine running. Most of it was the $80 battery that I just bought, but I needed that irregardless. So yeah. That's about it for today, I guess. I want to say thanks for watching. And hopefully you guys tune in for the next one. I'll be either working on this axle, if I can find the other axle shaft for it, or I'll be working on pulling that down. I'm not sure which yet. And I'll be rounding the rest of this Slant 6 stuff up and getting it out of here with any luck. If you know anybody that wants one, email me. dirtfloorfab@gmail. If it's a younger kid or something that's, you know, wanting to learn, I would pretty much give it to them. Whatever I've got in the parts, and I'd be happy to get rid of the motor. If not, I'm gonna probably put it up for 150 bucks. But enough jaw jacking. Hopefully I see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the likes, the views, and the subscribers. Have a good one, guys.